let's see if we can't find a tougher chop video to do. There's 2 banks and a player and another player, so we have a 2-2. 2-3, so that's not a chop. And I'm going to try to ignore the 3-4 chop. I'm just going to go for the regular 1s and 2s in a row, if I can find one. Sometimes you can't. Well, the 3-4 is dead already, so Brad's up. Brad wins. No, Brad lost 2. Oh. Well, this might be a long player here. Or not. Or not. This isn't qualifiable for a chop, but it's a chop variation that I do want to try for because it may never go 3 banker. If it goes 3 bank right off the rip, then I know what I have. Nothing for that. But it worked. So there's 1. Really only need 3 units. But that was a micro unit, because I'm considering my unit the purples. Anyway, gotta wait. I can't put that against the player right yet. It's 3 chops. And still 3. And 4. So whatever happens here, I'm gonna bet the opposite. Hopefully a banger. Oh, alright. Well. I'm going to parlay the last victory and bet that it won't go 3. Yeah, it worked. So we're up to 3 units, not 300s. Now, I'm going to stay on this, but for 1 at a time. Because banker has not gone 3 yet. Let's just see how long that continues. There you go. Player strong too. Sort of. So, now I gotta burn a hand. I had just 1 back-to-back hand, so I'm not gonna push it. It did chop, though. Well, I'm gonna reduce back to the little 1 again. I haven't even had to use the purple yet. And I just won 1/0. Wow. Well, we've made 500. Not much resistance on the shoe, right? It's all chop outside that long player. It's not always this easy. I just want to reaffirm that. Like, you're going to get the shoe that... It's a shoe from hell, I like to call them. It doesn't quite run or chop. Well, it ran a second, depending on when you jump in for a run. But the chop's 100. Like, it only missed that 1 row column. Tie? No, player. Okay, so here we're going to bet bank. Small. Failed. So that chop's over. But banker still hasn't come down, right? So I'm going to bet against that banker. Alright, now I'm going to try the purple, okay? So if it fails, we're going to be down about 200 bucks. But if it doesn't, we're done with the purple, the rest of the shoe. And we want to make sure we get out with at least the purple, right? But right now we've only got 300. So if we get this, we'll have closer to 8. So let's see what we can do here. Naturally. So that's excellent. I could just sit here and wait for it to go 2 bank and bet a purple against it every time. But I don't want to quite be that big of a bad example just yet. I think if we're building our bankroll, we want to be safer first. Oh, look, it went 3 side by side. Anyway, we're just playing for chop right now, so there's no qualified chop to use just yet. This also might go second bag. Did not. That's kind of like a 4 wide chop because it didn't go through past 2 for the 4th time potentially, but we don't know. I'll be interested to see if it goes player here. It did. So it reset the seconds, but I'm not playing for that. I'm just playing for chop. But I'm still trying to mention the other variables just to keep it in mind what I like to play for. So now normally I'd be on wait mode here, hoping that it would go second bank. But because I'm betting for chop, and I'm betting that bank will never go 3, I'm simply going to bet for that player. By the way, second player is pretty fire right now. It's only missed twice. So I'm going to bet player here. I got the natty again. And I'm humbling myself to the blackjack. And when I have real money, just betting $100, it's not going to feel like a lot to me. But right now, it feels like a lot. Like 900's a lot, and it should always feel like a lot, I guess. Like 900 a day is 27 grand a month. I talk. It's funny how I talk. I know, but think about it. Like it wasn't that hard to do. You just were waiting for a variable to take one time swing, and now we're just gonna flap at the black chips till we lose a couple times in a row, and we'll jump off that shoe like we did before. We don't have to play the whole shoe. We're just trying to get the victory. We've already got that. Only question now is how much are we gonna get? So I'm gonna burn this hand, okay? Because second player is kind of hot. Failed, so it's a good burn. I wasn't gonna bet second player anyway. We're in chop mode, but I wanted to see. Excuse me, what would happen? So we're back to the black player here, and we gotta know that. Wow, we're getting a lot of naturals when we choose to go here. I gotta burn that, even though I really want to just stick with this chop. I mean, that's a long, wide chop there already. It's 8 without it going 3 potentially. That's very nice on a 1-2 bet. But we didn't know that because we had the hiccup pattern. But if you take that hiccup pattern out, look, all those chops, right? Never ever went 3 except that one run of 3 players. If you were betting 1, 2, and all the rest of those, you didn't give a fuck about the 3 units you lost on that 3 players, because you won on the first player and you only lost on the second 2, and you were winning a unit on all the other ones. You washed those 3 units on a 1-2 bet. And if you're flat betting, you're still doing okay. But, anyway, I'm sorry. Let's see here. What am I doing? We're burning this hand. We're trying to find a banker to bet against. It's the second player. Well, we are still on chop mode here. So I'm going to bet small on the bank. Yeah. So that's a let it go. Let it go. And there's a bank, so now we're going to bet player. And look at this, we got another natural. Wish I would have just let the player die before I jumped in again. Because that's really the best thing to do here. I mean, bank can't come down. Why fight the players? Since, I mean, it's probably silly to do it. You just wait for red until it finally goes 3, We're definitely burning this because it's 2. 2 direct only. Well, now it's 3. Well, normally I'd wait to requalify the chop, but because banker can't come down, I'm simply going to bet for banker not to come down. You see the difference? Like, normally I'd be waiting for something like this, right? I get 4, and then I'd burn the hand, and then I'd jump in, I would lose. Or I'd do something like this, where I've got 2, 2, 1, and 2, and I would immediately bet for bank, and I would win. But this is only 3, right? So normally I'd wait a hand and then burn one if it went player. But because banker is so weak, I mean, look at this. You can't ignore that. And so be it if it goes 3 here on banker. I'm not going to be missing out on it, and I'm not afraid of missing out because I'm in on it. Okay, so it went 2. It went 2. And it's the 4th occurrence, so we are playing with fire a little bit that it's never going to go 3, but I do see shoes where it doesn't. How many would you do to bet that it won't? I would recommend just flat betting. $900 is a lot of money. Even if you're willing to put the 5 out there and you've got them to give, I would just try to get as much as you can, and that's the difference. So I'd like to get this closer to 1,000. Honestly, 500 would get it there. But every time I puss out, it's harder to jump back in, right? So I'm just gonna do the 100, and let's see if it was a right choice. Nope, I got another 8. Oh, I lost. The only card that could beat me came out, the 9. So I'm glad I went small. So that shoe's over. We made $100 that shoe. We're gonna go to another shoe. Not bad. And you gotta be willing to leave. You know, you don't have to beat the whole shoe, guys. You simply do not. So $800 is a lot of fucking money. I mean, you can do this yourself in practice. Be like, damn. Write it down each time, because I always forget. Write it down where you're at. And say, well, I wouldn't have made that much on that shoe. What would I have made on this one? And total it up for 3 shoes. See how you did. Or you try to go in and just say, I got this all figured out. I'm going to do a Nostradamus and just fucking clean up. Maybe not. Because I'll tell you, whatever strategy you're going to use, nothing's going to work the same twice. Not usually. I mean, it can. So you got to have some tools for the trade, right? And that's what I'm trying to do with these new playlists. Well, this ain't a job. That's 3 bank. Might be waiting a while. Well, there's a player. Player's now the weak side, right? So let's not use the purple just yet, because we don't have a strong variable. But I'm going to be hopeful that player never comes down. Now, could they come down side by side? Absolutely. It could be a streaky shoe. But I'm going to try small first. And if it doesn't work, then so be it. Well, guess what? We got a natural. Now we wait. Not worried about bank being that strong just yet. And it is. But we're going to wait for a player until we see a real chop. Ooh, it was almost a player. Alright. So we got another single player. Just like last shoe, except now we're betting for bank instead of player. I'd rather bet for player because we're not paying no commission. But, here we go. Wow, tie 0. Any card with a face card, and we won. But nay. Okay. Well, they redeemed themselves. Looked like we were going to lose to a 6, so we got another 4. So there you go. We're already up 200. Wouldn't that be nice? You just walk in, you make 2 bets, you've already made 200 for the day. How long does it take you to make 200 in a day, hourly? Oh, you know. Seriously, though, we got to think like that. Look at that backward staircase we got going. I bet it goes player here. Nope. Second bank. Bank's just too strong, huh? Every second bank's hit so far. There's player. So this is kind of a chop. Anyway, it's a 1-2-1-2. So bank does feel good here, but I'm just hoping it never goes through player right now more than anything else. Well, there's 2. I'm going to swing now, okay? It's the first occurrence of 2. This is where I'm going to run it out there. And if this works, well, now we just play until it loses. And not the difference, like we did last year with the 800. 800, 800, 800, 800. Just trying to tell myself where I was at. Okay, so let's see. I got another natural. Wow. Every time I went for the kill shot, I was getting an 8 or a 9 last year. I did it again. Anywho, let's see if we get the 3 side by side on the second. I mean, second bank ain't missed yet, right? Let's see what happens here. Not going to bet for it either way. I'm just curious. Yep, it sure did. Look at that. Dang. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, bank's so strong. I don't really want to bet against it. It's not a pure chop anyway. It's 2-2-ing, but this is where I'd be a little cautious, I guess, right? I want to bet player to keep this chop moving along, but with bank coming down on the second every time, I'm worried we're going to get a few bank runs here. And we did. It's 3 banks. Let's see how far this one goes. Wow, it even defeated the 8 with the however 9. See what I mean? Look at this, bro. Oh, wow. That was a brutal tie for banker. Let's see. Oh, player caught the natty. All right. So, got to reduce to that black chip for sure. We don't want to be betting against banker, against player on a second for heavy. But we are going to bet against it because of what's been happening. But of course, the second was successful. I could have deemed that a null bet too, right? I could have just said no. But I'm not playing for both variables, so I'm just on the offensive when I see the player. For now, if it goes 3-player, I'll deal with it. But it didn't. So this gives me a chance to do one of two things: either be cautious and just do another 100 or 200, or throw the attack unit out that it'll never go 3-player. Because guess what? I get this one more time, I basically have almost a G. Right? I'll be like $40 short, no, a little less. A little more actually short. But let's see. I'm just going to do it. If not, I got to start over. I got 30 to 1. Fuck. But it's a new day. What's actually happening chop-wise? Well, nothing's gone 5. And player's been sucking. But I'll bet this staircase backward for player now is going to chop. But I'm going to bet for the banker anyway. Small. Come on. Damn, tied at 7. Never fucking wins. Never. Oh, it did. Oh, that wasn't a 7. Okay. So, either now, I'm down to 2 variables for a chop. Either a pure 4-wide chop without it going 3, or I'm going to bet the 3-4 chop. Nothing else is going to be good enough to make a wager now, because both sides have gone 3. So, we wait. And we wait one more time, maybe twice. Yeah, we gotta. So, whatever happens next, I'm gonna bet the opposite. It's a pure chop, of course it is. Fuck, I really wanted to go 2nd player. I'd feel more confident putting the banker out. I don't want to really bet against the banker, but I have to. Shit, I'd have to do it for 2 hands. So I'll put the little one out there first, because it just feels dirty. Got it. Damn it. I'm mad that I got it. I'm going to parlay it on bank. I lost. Now I'm going to put the purple on bank. Got the natural. Man, player 8s are getting murdered this video with the natural 9, aren't they? So we're in there still. Alright.
You okay?
Sorry about that. She was checking on my daughter. So, where was I? Oh, we won money. That's fun. Oh yeah, we were trying to see if I thought we just won twice. We were back to start again, right? Okay. So I'm gonna burn a hand here. I'm sorry. Oh, we stole that with the however, didn't we? Okay. So we are going to reduce. I lost that. Now I gotta try hard one time. And this will put us over 8. Put us under even. 3-4 chops back. I switched to the little one again. Hope it doesn't go 5. Didn't. Effectively back to even minus commission. So I gotta find a new chop variant. That's not quite. Almost. Not. Maybe. Yes. So we're gonna bet the opposite of this next hand. That's why. Sometimes I can absorb a second, you know, without betting. And I'm going to put the purple on it. Because it's a second, not a first. So let's see. If it was the first, if it would have direct chopped, I probably would have did the one black chip first. But because it did this, I'm just going to swing it. And fail. Miserably 10-1. So back to the black chip, back to grinding again. This is what happens. This is what happens when I'm staying close to zero. Sort of. Not if I don't get this. I got it. Thank goodness. Could have gone badly. 3-4 chopped, alright. It's 100%. Get this off my screen. Damn it. Fuck. Why did it do that? See what I'm saying? 5 times in a row would have worked. 3 times on the third and 2 on the fourth. Chopped it. If you did nothing else, the entire shoe you would have only made 4, 5, 6, 7 wagers. And you'd be to the good on all 5 of those variants. Not bad. So, gotta wait. It's not a direct chop. Both sides have gone 3, so you can't just swing for nothing. It's gotta make sense a little bit. And doing so allows you some grace to not be losing too often. You're sitting out more hands, you're waiting for something better to come along, and you're just going to try for that moment in time. And better to do that than just keep guessing. I suppose one's always guessing. But if you have a specific thing that you're waiting for, you're limiting the chances of going in a downward spiral all at once and feel like no matter what you do, you're wrong. This gives you some mental reps, if nothing else, to just get your mind right. So when you find, here it is. I'm going to bet the opposite of this next hand. So here we go. We're going to start with the little guy first. We got it. Back to even again. Minus 100, actually. Ooh, it's 5 direct. I'm going to parlay this. Got it? Yep. Now I'm going to mitigate said parlay. Instead of doing 4, I'm going to do 3. This will help a good bit. Yes. Okay. So we're going to slow her down now. We're going to ease it back and just do the 1. Okay. Started from scratch. We got the 400 of the good, and if we get this, we have 5. So let's see how it goes here. It's a nice chop now. Well, didn't work, but we reduced. Gave us the opportunity to do the main attack unit with the 5. If it loses, we're only going to be down a couple bucks here. Hopefully, I mean, that's as good as a chop guess, man. I fucking hope it doesn't go 3 again. But it could. Anything could happen. We're just going to hope it doesn't. And it tied. Ooh, that was scary. That's definitely... Oh, wow, doubly scary. 6-6 tie, 7-7 tie. It's the second double tie of the shoe. Wow. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Oh, fuck. Oh, yes, we zeroed it out. Look at that. This has been a battle. And this is the second shoe in a row. We've been hovering around 800. The shoe before we finished on 790. This one we're on 770. And we're only there because we threw the attack unit out again. But how many times have I done this shoe? Not very many times. So it's, you know, it's allowing us to float and get our mind right for the right place to attack. So because I won on that, I'm going to just burn that hand. See what happens with the second. See, second bank. So we didn't get hurt. We're on basic chop mode here. And you don't have to burn the hand, you know. If you're willing to reduce and just punt, you don't care. It's not a big deal. We just won again. Think we can get to 1,000 here? We're literally 2 units away. But I'm not fucking with those side-by-side seconds because both the prior times it went across at least 3. So that's definitely a burn hand, even if you won or didn't. Look at that. Second again. Like I said, all 3 times they came across together after the 2 side by sides. It doesn't mean anything, but I'm surprised how often it does, so that's why I have to say it. I think they do things just to fuck with us. Anywho, I burned that hand, so I'm going to put 1 on the 2-2 chop. And I'm right with the natural. So I'm definitely burning this because the seconds are on fire. Tie. And it looks like it's right. Yeah. Oh, it chopped. Sorry. Well, great. That's okay. We got away with, the little stuff. This will put us over a G. Tie. Great time for a tie. Great time for tie, right? We have almost 1,100. We got 1,060 to the good here. That's fucking great. You add that to the 790, and you have 1,850. So, I mean, not a bad day at the office. It was a little dicey for a minute at the beginning, right? Sure it was. We were down like 2 big perps, but we got it back. So I ask you, how much money do we really need to get this done? I'll tell you what, you're going to get the shoe where you're down 6 perps in a second, and you're going to be glad you have the capital to fight for your money. You got to have it. You can't be reckless with it, but you got to make sure you have it because you don't want that feeling like you're walking out like a loser, right? Like, you got to be able to fight for it. So, but you don't want to chase, There's a significant difference between fighting for it and chasing. So that's what I'm trying to do here, show you the difference. If I'm chasing, I'm going to call myself out. I haven't had to do it. Thank goodness, because I'm trying to be a good example here. So, we won. It's 3 direct chops. I should just stay on this chop, right? Like, I mean, it ain't gone 3 in a million years. I guess that's the only thing that concerns me. You just feel like when it goes so long, it's due, right? Nothing's due, bro. Nothing has to happen. Are you willing to write off 2 back-to-back losses? That's what this comes down to now. So what I'm trying to do is burn a hand between to dodge a theoretical loss, and there was a loss. I would have had a loss. It's a second bank. So I burned the hand, and I saved myself a unit, whatever size unit you want, by not playing that hand. And it could have won, and I would have left money on the table too, yes. But in this case, I didn't lose shit. And if I lose here, the chop's over, and it only costs me 1 now and not 2 or 3, right? So, let's see if it wins. It wins. I got another natural. Great. They just won't let me lose. They won't let me suck to show you why we gotta escape. It's a nice little chop. Fuck. Every video I've done in this chop series has found one of these somewhere. And you see what I mean about that? It doesn't matter what one shoe's doing. Like, look what it did back here. There's no chop. Here it started to, I guess. And then we had the 3. And then it started to again. It came right down 4. And you're like, fuck, what's going on? Is it all player shoe? And frankly, I wasn't betting that. Like, I was just betting against. Well, I was. Yeah, I was. I was betting for player not to come down. Right? Anyway, look at this, though. It's gorgeous. I 1-2 bet. You gotta be willing to write off the 3-unit loss when it inevitably happens. If you're on this whole run here with a 1-2 chop, like, who cares when you lose 3? It's damn to happen. But if you keep winning, shit. You can even reduce the size of your 1-2 from like a 1-2 to like 25 and $50 or whatever. You don't have to keep it at a higher level value. So did I win that? Yes. So we're gonna burn 1 hand here. Look at second player. We dodged another one. So now if it's 3 players, we're only gonna get hit 1 time because we're not gonna bet against the 4th. Not to happen. But we won. So we're burning 1 and we're dodging it, and then we're winning on the next. That's great. It's great when it works that way. You could burn the one that wins, and then the next 2 lose too, right? So it goes both ways. It's just working in my favor right now. So, like I said before, The last 3 times we had 2 side by side, they all went 3, right? At least. So we'll see if this one does. I'm going to burn this. See if it goes second bank here. And it did. It's uncanny, right? Look at that. All 4 times. All 4 times, if there was a side by side come down, it went at least 3 side by side. See that, right? So, anyway, this only cost us 1 again. That's great. That's great. I wish they were purples, but that's okay. Oh my God, tie 7 again. Oh, we got it. Yep, we got it. 4 to 1 bonus. There you go. See if it goes side by side again. I'm definitely burning that. Tie again. Wow. A lot of 6-7 ties here. Yep. It came down again. And we didn't bet. So we didn't get hurt. And now you know we're a betting banker here. And I don't have to bet heavy. You want to increase it on a little mitigated parlay kind of thing, great. But if it loses like that loss, you got to be able to write that shit off. So that shoe's over with to me, right? That chop's over. Like, look what hand we're on. We're on hand 76. We're not going to find any more chop to fuck with. So we write that one little bullet off. We have 1,255 from them, plus the 790 from the other shoe. So that would be 1,845. Not bad. In 2 shoes? Are you fucking kidding? It's a 31-minute video. I'm going to wrap that up there. I don't want to spend another 20 minutes on another shoe, or even 15. You see what I mean, though? You could walk. It's like I said in that short. You could walk up to a shoe at any point and just qualify it when it qualifies. It wasn't qualified at the beginning of the shoe to really play a chop unless you're going to bet player not to ever go 3, I guess. You could. But you would have lost very quickly. But then here, if you were just going to wait for a direct 4 chop and then burn a hand, you would have the banker, and then your very first bet, you would have won on player, right? And if you're going to burn after that, you would have got the second player burned, and you would have won right away on bank. But then you would have burned the player, and you would have lost 2 more players. So, you have to decide for yourself how many units you really want to win on a shoe. And I also was doing the strategy of betting big and then reducing to the little guy for a 5th less. But I just think that's better than slinging the main money all the time. I want to try to reduce as quickly as I can and then grind with the little stuff that's actually profit. Grinding, yes, but I'm grinding with profits, so I'm not just giving away the stack as quick as I'm winning it. Because, frankly, winning back-to-back hands isn't the easiest thing to do. And that's why I was endorsing burning a hand in between chop bets, because you're not going to see it where it just goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way across anyway. It's foolhardy to think that it is. And even if you skip a hand and it does in fact direct chop, you don't have to worry that, you're leaving money on the table, because you're playing smart, man. You're playing smart. And like I said back here, at the very end here, when I burned that second player, I only had to bet once. I wasn't betting against it for 2 hands, right? I didn't have to, because it was already at 3. If it gets at 3, that's enough for me. I'm not trying to make it not go 4. And we can check it. We can see if anything went 5 here. I'll run a couple hands for you just to see it chopped, but I wasn't going to do that. Now let's see if the second bank would have hit. I'm not going to bet that either, but yep, second bank hit. I wonder how long this second will go for, huh? Probably not long. Let's see. This new player. Oh, I got it. Wow. It's a nice little second there. I mean, from that point forward, you had 9 out of 11. But that's a whole different qualification thing I would have had to do there. That's another 3 player. Let's see if it gets to 5. So this is going to be the end of the shoe. That's 4. But this will decide it here. This data is going to be gone after I run this hand. But this is the last hand of the shoe. You see if this would have went banker or not. If it goes player, then it effectively would have been 5 players. Yeah, see, 5 players. See, it's gone. But that would have been the 5th player, so the very last hand of the shoe would have broke the pattern of the 3-4 chop working. But I wasn't playing for that, really. So anyway, not bad. 1255 plus 790 would be 1945. 1945. I'd be, $55 short of $2,000 in 2 shoes if I had the money to fuck with. And being willing to reduce, being willing to reduce to these and just say, I'm just going to do a little stuff now. Whatever. Have a good night.